Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Terence back with another video. Uh, Probably most of you all read the title by now, and probably are already angry with me, right? Or starting judging me as an example, right? But before you do that, hold on, right? Just watch this video till the end. It's just my experience is what I'm telling you from what my observation has been, right? In terms of alcohol consumption, right? And is it actually good for you or bad for you? Like you all know, the reason I make the videos is to add value to you guys' life, right? Uh, so I had to really think more than twice, before I put out this video and my thoughts on this, because it's a sensitive subject, and there are people who actually, there are actually two opposites. There are people who actually love it, and people actually hate it, kind of thing, right? And I'm not saying I hate alcohol. I'm not saying I love alcohol. I'm just saying alcohol is bad for you. Now, what am I trying to say? It's a very touchy topic because I see so many of my friends, my family members addicted to this stuff, right? That gently it comes into the first point of today's conversation, right? Alcohol will become a vice in your life. It will. I mean, if you all know what vice means, right? I won't say it's an addiction, right? I'll say it'll make you all go to it whenever you're not feeling good, right? But that's something you're tricked into, right? Because your mind or your state of mind gets blurred out for that point of time in terms of the problem that you're facing throughout the day. Let's say you had a crappy day at work, right? And then let's say you want to go out for a drink, right? Now you will tell me that, hey, look, it just makes me feel good. Why is it making you feel good? Because it helped you forget what happened earlier, right? But is that really true? Is that the right way to do it? Because we all know, I mean, I will make videos about this in the future as well, but we all know happiness comes from within, and satisfaction, all those good things come from within, right? If you take stimulants like this, not stimulants, if you get stimulations like these from external substances, what's going to happen? You're going to be addicted to it, right? It's just like, some people having a vice of getting more materialistic things, become more happy. It's similar to that. And I can tell you, alcohol will 100%, not 10%, not 99%, 100% destroy your life. It will give you a false illusion that you're having a social life, but all you're just doing is just killing yourself, right? Now I'll come to the good side as well, right? Please hold on. Right before that, let me just check my handy dandy note before I forget, right? One of the reasons I feel alcohol is really bad is it'll make you rely on other people, right? You saw I had to think twice before I said that, right? Generally, what I found in life is you want to be in a position where you don't want to rely on people, right? You want to be self-sufficient in whatever you do or whatever you want to achieve, right? Yes, you need the help of your team to do whatever work. That's a different case. But when, let's say, you rely on people at such extent, wherein they have to, visit you in the hospital or pick you up from the sidewalk where you've fallen drunk, or I don't know, you're sloshed at the bar, right? And you cannot hold your own faculties as an example, right? So think about it in that way, right? It will not help you be self-reliant, right? You will have that dependency on others. Hey, look, hey man, you'll tell your friend, hey man, I want to drink, come with me, right? It's not just because you want him to come with you to drink. It's also because your subconscious kind of tells you, hey look, I won't be able to handle myself, so I need that person, right? And that's not full-fledged way of living, correct? Yeah, so that's one of the main reasons alcohol is really bad for you. Now I get the whole crowd who's going to disagree with this and probably dislike the video. Totally fine, right? Your life and your point of view, right? But you must have heard people say have everything in moderation. But what is moderation? Is it moderation for everyone the same thing, right? It's just like this case. It's like giving candy to kids, right? So if you give a piece of candy for a child for the first time, right? Oh, he will really like it. He has never seen this before. He'll really like it. You give him the second time, he'll like it even more. The third time, he'll like it even more. The fourth time, it's like, no, you've given me 3 times already, and keep giving me, right? And you cannot live without it. So please think twice before you get into that. And coming to the topic of moderation, right? You have to be mature enough. You have to experience this and understand what your limits are in terms of what you have to do and what you should not do, right? Just because you can does not mean that you should, right? I'll just give a quick example as to, you know, why we don't need things like alcohol or things like any other things like materialistic things or the new gadgets or whatever, right? There's a story of Alexander the Great and this person, a philosopher from, I'm not sure, from Rome or someplace, I forgot. But his name was Diogenes. Yeah, Diogenes, I think. I can't pronounce the name, right? So there was Alexander the Great, right, who almost conquered all the world. I think so he did conquer almost all the world, almost everything, right? And this side we had a character that has everything. So Alexander the Great literally has the whole world in his hands. And this side we have a character called as Diogenes, I think. Diogenes, yeah. That could be wrong, but if you just Google Diogenes servant, you'll understand who this person is. Not servant, sorry, Diogenes, the poor man or something like that, right? You'll come to know about his life. So he was a philosopher. People believed in him, people spoke to him and went to him for advice. But the reason people could not understand him is because I'll give you a backstory of once what happened in his life. So he had literally given up everything that he owned, this person Diogenes, right? So he's walking down the street, right? And the only thing he owns in his hand, he's even naked, right? He's even naked, he doesn't have a pair of clothes. But the only thing he has with him is like a wooden cup, right? And then as he's walking through the streets of Rome, or I'm not sure, Paris or whichever country. So it was a street that he was roaming on, and he saw a kid, like a boy, like a 6-7-year-old boy. From the tap he was drinking water by holding his hands like this and drinking water, and, you know, not using any cup. He was just using his hand to drink water, right? As soon as he saw this, so Diogenes was already an adult, right? He saw this and he had this cup in his hand. He told to himself, look how foolish I am, and then he just threw it to the kid, or he just gave it to the kid, right? The only thing he had was a wooden cup and he gave it to him, right? There's a lot, I mean, it's one of the stories that I think about. And, you know, like, even though this person was a great philosopher, he literally gave up everything he had, right? He had true happiness because he did not need anything to be happy, right? No vices, nothing. And one day what happened, the word spread around that, you know, there's this great philosopher living in I think so, Athens or Greece or whatever, right? About this person called Diogenes, right? He was always very wise, right? So word somehow reached Alexander the Great, right? Alexander the Great, by this time he had almost conquered all the world, right? But he was still not happy. This person had everything, literally the whole world in his hands, right? Property, women, money, whatever, right? Gold, silver, right? He had literally the whole world, right? But because he was unhappy, he came to Diogenes and asked him. Diogenes was sitting, you know, laying on the ground, like, because he's like a beggar, he's living like a beggar, right? Like the dogs, he's just living on the ground totally naked, right? Sitting with his dogs or whatever on the ground. So the soldiers of Alexander the Great take Alexander to this person, and Alexander the Great stands in front of him and asks Mr. Diogenes, obviously I'm just paraphrasing here, but he asks Diogenes, what is it that you are doing that makes you so happy, and why am I not happy? You know what Diogenes said to him? He said, first please move, you're blocking the sunlight. Think about it. He told Alexander the Great, right? Please move, you're blocking the sunlight. So Alexander the Great at that time realized, right? As soon as you start living not for yourself but for others and just experience life, you're at bliss, you're at peace with having nothing. He realized that Diogenes was a much more happier person, and that he cannot be as happy as Diogenes ever, because he had accumulated all this material and all this, the whole world basically, right? Now coming back to the topic of alcohol, right? Do you really want to that to be your whole pedestal and, you know, your vice of happiness? Or when people look at a person who has nothing and who's happy, and a person who cannot, let's say, walk because he's too drunk, right? Who do you think is truly happy, right? So I'm just thinking about it in terms of adding values to your life. Now don't be crazy and say, no, I'll not have alcohol at all. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you have to understand what moderation is, and when and what amount of it can control you and what amount of it cannot control you, right? Now don't be liberal and say, no, oh, I can have 10 bottles a day, so I'll think, that's being foolish, right? It's just like blocking the sun for Diogenes, right? So yeah, learn to enjoy life in a much more simpler manner. I know my energy has been low. It's not only because it's almost end of the week, but because it's also a very sensitive matter, right? So I hope my thoughts and my vision and my story in terms of why alcohol can be bad for you inspires you guys to make much more informed decisions of partying every weekend or getting lost, right? There's more to life than that. There is sunlight to enjoy, right? When is the last time you went out and enjoyed the sunlight? Think about that, and then maybe then think about how much alcohol you actually do consume, right? And it doesn't have to be just about alcohol. It can be like sugar, it can be, I don't know, your food addiction, whatever, right? And guys, you guys are not alone. If you're addicted to stuff, you're not alone. Trust me, I'm addicted to food. It's very difficult to understand this, but I'll make another video about this later on, right? So let me know how you guys felt about this whole experience of this journey throughout this video, right? If you like this content, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button. Obviously, share it with your friends, comment all the good stuff, and until then, I guess I'll catch you all tomorrow. Cheerio.